Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 14 of Calisthenics Endurance, and today we have a pull workout. Now, when it comes to getting stronger, there's two main parts, I believe, to becoming stronger. One is the obvious one, like actual muscle power, raw power, improving that one. But also, what's important if you want to improve, let's say, holding the like a position for a certain amount of time, like the planche or the front lever, or you want to do more reps, like in the pull-ups or the dips, or you want to do heavier reps, right? What's important besides raw power is also technique. And so raw power is, of course, very important. When you build raw power, like actual strength and muscle, it will, benefit you in every kind of movement. But in order to get truly strong at a certain movement, it's also good to become efficient at that movement. Because, if you have two people, right, two people, and they both have the same amount of strength, they have the same genetics, same training history, they're just identical, they're a copy of each other, right? But one person is more efficient at a certain movement than the other. Well, then it's obvious who is gonna be able to do more reps or hold the position longer, right? And well, that's the guy who can do it more efficiently, who has the better technique. And so today, what I'm gonna do is, well, I'm gonna do my one-arm pull-ups. I'm gonna do my main sets as the first part of this workout, and I'm gonna focus on, having a good technique, making the reps as smooth as possible, and trying not to cheat the parts where I'm weak. So what is that gonna involve? Well, for the one-arm pull-up, if you want to pull efficiently, right, what I try to focus on is trying to pull as compact as possible, compactly, I guess, as possible. So, you can pull like this, right, like a normal pull up and kind of have your arms away from yourself. But what I like to focus on is to pull towards my opposite shoulder. And by doing so, you're kind of staying compact. The center of gravity is small. And so the movement, in my opinion, becomes more efficient. And then as I go down, I try to like stretch all the way out, right? But yeah, that's what I focus on the one-arm pull-up. If you're doing a different movement, you're gonna have to focus on different stuff, right? Like if you're doing a normal pull-up, for example, what you want to avoid is that when you're doing the pull-ups, you're kind of like swinging back and forth, right? That's a sign that you're not pulling straight upwards, but you're also like adding momentum like backwards and forward, right? So it's not only upwards and downwards, you're also backwards and forwards. And so that backward and forward movement is waste of energy, right? If your movement is efficient, you will be still at the bottom and you will be still at the top, right? So try to focus on that. But anyway, let's do some one arm pull ups, 5 sets. All right, 3 reps. Let's try to do it 4 more times, or 4 more sets, I guess. All right, that's 5 sets done of the one arm pull up. And when it comes to working on technique, ideally, you're doing your sets not to the max so that you have energy to do more sets, right? Because more sets is theoretically more opportunity to learn the movement. Although I guess it has an upper limit as well, right? But for me, set number 4 felt the easiest. Normally, if you're going hard on your sets, set number 1 will feel the easiest because, well, you use all your power and then you're not able to recover from it. But I was holding back a little bit, and so as I was still recovering, my technique was also getting better. And actually, set number 4 is where I felt the reps were the best, and then set number 5 was a little bit more difficult. But anyway, good stimulus. Now it's time for part 2 of this workout, which is gonna be some pump work. Just get a good back pump and finish off the workout with some reps. All right, so today's finisher is gonna be EMOM. Every minute on a minute, I'm doing a set of 5 chin-ups, and I'm having kind of a pause at the top. This is just to squeeze the muscles in my back. It's a chin-up, but it really doesn't, it's not hard for your biceps. So it's all on the back, and that's just gonna give me a good back pump. Last time I did just one finisher set with heavy weight. I did that I think 2 times, but I feel like if you do something, especially like finishers to your max, all the way, like weeks on end, you're gonna get tired. So I like to switch things up. Anyway, set number 2, I think I'm gonna do 12 sets in total, or at least that's my goal. Holy hell. That was set number 9. I wasn't able to do the chin-ups with chest to the bar anymore. It's so freaking difficult. I'm gonna take a quick break. I wanna hit 60 reps in total today, so I'm gonna take a break and then do one set of chin-ups without a pause at the top, do more momentum, and try to get to 60 that way. Holy hell, these are so much more difficult than they look. Alright, 15 reps or bust. Ooh. Oh, holy hell, my shoulders feel amazing right now. That's gonna be it for today's workout, And yeah, let's just sit down and discuss. Alright, so very happy with how today's workout went, because, especially set number 4 felt the easiest. That's a very good sign to me that I was working on the technique, every set just becoming more smooth and feeling easier despite me, gradually getting more tired. But when it comes to like workouts, it's not black and white, it's a gray area. You can do everything. And so, yes, strength training mainly consists of, making the actual muscle stronger and then also improving your technique. But there is no such thing as, workouts for your muscles, like to make your muscles stronger or better, or, workouts for efficiency or better, It's just a different tool for a different purpose. And so, in my opinion, it's best to do both of those workouts, right? Perhaps cycle between them, do it like every few weeks, change it up, and make progress that way. Because if you only focus on making the muscle stronger and, you know, having bad technique and just trying to get as many reps as possible or whatever, eventually you're going to get tired. You're going to stop progressing. And at that time, it's perhaps a good idea to not, push through and try to, get more reps anyway, but perhaps back off a little bit, aim for some technique work, right? Do that for a couple of weeks until you notice like, hey, I'm not getting stronger anymore. Like my technique has perhaps improved, but I'm not getting more reps anymore. They keep feeling hard. Well, you maxed it out for a while, right? And you can then switch back to, a volume period or something else, a strength period where you try to get the muscles stronger again, right? And you switch between those, and that's how you kind of, make progress in the long run. But that's gonna be it for today's workout. Very happy with how it went. Very happy with the pump, despite it only being, 60 reps in total. Very good pump, and I'll see you tomorrow for. I think it's gonna be like a light push day. Let's go.